Welcome back to News Across Nigeria. The Osun State government is paying compensation to people whose property and houses were in the way of the construction of a road. Details of that story after we remind you that all our top stories can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Do visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. We'd also like to urge you to please interact with the Eyewitness feature in the Channels TV app on the Android, iOS, and Windows platforms. If you have pictures or videos you would like to share with us, tap the app on your device. Swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions. Now to the southwestern part of the country, the Osun State government have commenced the distribution of over 300 million naira in checks to 127 claimants whose properties and houses will be affected in the course of the construction of the 2.8-kilometer Olaiya-Asobiaro-Itaolokon Road in Osogbo, the state capital. Speaking at the ceremony in Osogbo, the Deputy Governor, Mrs. Titilayo Tomori-Laoye, says the reconstruction of the road is for commuting across the area. The reconstruction was flagged off in November 2015 by Governor Rauf Aregbesola.
Despite the dwindling economic situation in Nigeria and its reluctant effect on federal allocation, this government still deems it to pay compensation to all claimants affected by the reconstruction of Itaolokon Road. It is not always the joy of government that traditional properties should give way for any developmental project, but civilization, urbanization, and the need for road dualization and expansion of this nature has brought about this situation. I'm particularly happy that the traditional compounds belonging to different families were not wiped off from their traditional locations. In this regard, I have the pleasure to announce to our people by this legacy that today we shall be given 302,966,974.02 naira to all the claimants.
The Deputy Governor of Osun State, Mrs. Titilayo Tomori-Laoye. Now, not too far away in Oyo State, as part of efforts to transform Oyo in all critical sectors to lure better investment capable of upgrading the socio-economic status of the state, the state governor, Abiola Ajimobi, has commissioned a 50-housing unit estate in the state capital, Ibadan. Declaring open the project, the governor said the furnished apartments have become the signature of his government and will lay credence to his commitment to quality and excellence. He added that the Olive Court in Agodi, GRA, Ibadan, has set the pace for other developers willing to partner with the states, as the quality must be maintained even for low-income housing units. Now, from there, as the scarcity of premium motor spirit, also called petrol, continues to bite hard on Nigerians, motorists in Benin City, the Edo State capital, have called for the outright removal of fuel subsidy. Some motorists told Channels Television that the continued payment of subsidy amounts to a depletion of the nation's revenue as people continue to buy the product above the approved pump price.
For several months now, fuel stations without premium motor spirit are a common sight within the Edo State capital, Benin City. The few with the product are besieged by motorists who would do just about anything to get petrol in their vehicles.
It's terrible because I don't know, we're beginning to see the fuel station has improved at 87 naira, but we find out it's not a mirage. I think the government should do something about it.
When the opinion of these motorists is sought concerning the ongoing debate on the planned fuel subsidy removal, many of them believe it's for the greater good.
Removing the subsidy will make the product available remove long queues from the streets, I think it will be better. Instead of pretending there is subsidy and you still end up buying 135, 140, 120, depending on your locations. If the subsidy goes up, it becomes a better price for everybody to get the product readily available.
So let the government allow fuel subsidy to go. Let marketers go. Let's forget about people importing petrol into Nigeria. Let the market be open. Whoever wants to import it, let it import fuel into the country and let us buy at whatever price they bring in.
So what need the fuel subsidy? When the fuel is not available, they should deregulate it so that it should be available everywhere.
In all, these Benin City residents insist that the government adopts firm measures to solve the problem of fuel scarcity in the country.
And staying with the issue of fuel scarcity, which is affecting the states across the Federation, the lingering issue has continued to put relevant regulatory agencies on their toes to lessen the hardship of Nigerians. The Department of Petroleum Resources is one such agency which has been going about monitoring the sale of products in petrol stations across the states. This report brings some of the revelations the exercise has unearthed.
Across the country, queues file outside petrol stations. A lingering situation that is threatening to paralyze the nation. But the federal government, through the Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, is taking hard steps to ensure the matter is put under control. In the northeast state of Adamawa, the DPR team is on the lookout for petrol stations diverting, hoarding, or selling above the approved pump price. This station is falling short.
We reported to the public that this person always sells his product at night and he diverts the product, and as we have seen recently, after the gauging, we had a total estimate of 35,000 liters. We had another truck came with PMS. After the gauging, we wanted to have an estimate what quantity is there, because we cannot have a handle on the dipstick. However, we use an alternative improvised method to see if there is anything in the underground storage tank. Unfortunately, all have been siphoned probably yesterday night or the day before.
The team also nabbed some Keke Napep operators with hidden tanks, obviously to buy petrol for black market operations. In neighboring Borno State, the DPR team is sealing up petrol stations committing similar acts.
There's not enough product, and any amount substantial that is hoarded will definitely compound the issue. As a result, definitely with the amount that we have seen that is not sold, it would have eased some of our problems around.
The same is happening in the North Central with Kwara State and Delta State in the South-South. In the middle of this battle are citizens who spend countless hours and are forced to buy at exorbitant prices.
This particular station has been involved in adulteration of AGO, and that is injurious to human lives, and it's also dangerous to engines of motor vehicles, generators, and it is totally against the regulation guiding the downstream operation.
You can't even get the fuel in the daytime. It is in the night they always translate the fuel to Cameroon. Yes. So if you go, even if some of us that has all this little generator, if you want to go and buy a liter for your generator use, you will not get fuel. So it is in the night. When you go in the night, you will be baking so that they will give you at that rate of 150 naira. They will not even give you because you did not come with many yellows.
They should allow the filling station to sell at the government price. They should not sell it. When they sell it, they are compounding their problem. They could have monitored the sales.
The government no doubt is doing all it can to manage the situation, but how quickly this can be achieved to quell the frustrations of the people is what many want to see.
Meanwhile, a former president of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, has challenged the management of the Federal University of Petroleum Resources, Osun in Delta State, to evolve the best international practices to develop the petroleum technology sector, especially in the light of the current dwindling fortunes of crude oil prices in the international market. He made the call when he received members of the management and staff of the institution at his residence, where he was presented with an award for establishing and developing the first petroleum university in Africa. The former president, however, stated that the major reason for establishing the University of Petroleum Technology Development was to bridge the necessary gap in local content and capacity building deficit.
If you are the sixth University of Petroleum Resources created in the world, why are you not among the first 10? What do they do? What do the others do that you cannot do? Those who lead the others, they have two heads. Eh? What do? They have commitment. They have laboratories. They have research, men and women, and research facilities. And they are innovating, researching, and improving. So I see you're being among the 500 universities in the world as very unambitious. I will challenge you to think out of the box and also act out of the box. Not the routine, not the beaten track, not what everybody else is doing. Let us do something unique.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo. You're watching news across Nigeria. Coming up, stay tuned because we have news of the West African Examination Council releasing the November-December results of the students who sat for the examinations. Stay with us.